Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture 2 of Introduction to Python, and I am Atul. In this lecture we are going to cover the following topics. First we will cover the input and print function, then we will see Python identifiers, and after that we will see some basics of Python like statement, indentation and comments in Python. After that we will see quotation in Python, and then we will see Python comments, how to write comments in Python, and then after we will see docstring in Python, and finally we will cover Python variables. Here enter a value is an prompt string. So as soon as you hit enter button, this string will be displayed. Enter a value and it will wait or prompt you to enter something. Suppose you write hello world. So what happened, this hello world string will be assigned to this variable name. This will be assigned here. What input function will always return an string value. So whatever the value you give it, it will always return an string value. So if you need an integer value, you have to typecast this value. Like in this example, we have again written the same prompt string, enter a value, but before the input function, we have written int function. So this int function does what? It converts or it typecasts the string value into integer, int 10, which converts this value 10, that is string value 10, into integer equivalent, that is 10, and then it is assigned to variable. So in last lecture we have discussed the print function. So print function accepts an string and other objects also, and it prints that object or string as it is. In first example I have taken a string, so this will return a value. So if you want to print some variable also, you can point you can write the variable inside the print statement. So let's take another example of input and print together. In this example we have taken a function, input function, and it has a prompt string, what is your name? So as soon as you hit enter button, you will get this string in your screen, and it will wait for an input from the user. And if you write this name variable inside print function, it will print the value, whatever the value you have given to the name variable. In Python, input function is used to get information from the user, and print is used to display the information on this. I have an exercise for you. You have to print following string on your Python interpreter. String is hello I am, and name, instead of writing the name, you have to write your own name, student of GLNS. So here is the answer. Identifiers are the names used to identify either variable or function or class or any objects or modules in Python. So they are generally starts with the capital A to Z letter or small a to Z letter, or with an underscore only, and it is followed by 0 or more letters, and these could be again underscores, digit, and A to Z in caps or small. So there are some naming conventions, like we should write the class name in uppercase and other variable in small cases. Generally an identifier in Python start with two leading underscore and ending with two underscore, is a language defined special name, so you do not have to use it. So these naming convention are the some conventions followed by Python programmer, so it is just an recommendation, so you can use it or you cannot use it. Let's talk about Python statement. In Python we can write single line statement as well as multi-line statement. So for writing single line statement there is no problem, you have to write in single line, and if you want to execute it in interpreter, just hit the enter button and it will be gets executed. But there is a problem with the multi-line statement, because if you write in you want to write in multiple lines, and if you press enter button to go to in next line, it will execute the old line, that is. So to write multi-line statement, what you have to do, you have to use the line continuation character, that is the backslash, uh, which is written here, 1 plus 2 plus 3 then slash, and then you can write continue your line 4 5 6 plus slash 7 8 9. So this is a valid 3-line statement, and it will be executed as a one statement. Except the slash symbol, you can use the brackets, parentheses and braces for the multi-line statements. So this is the example of using parentheses. Here we have used the parentheses to write the multi-line statements. You can use even parentheses, and you can use even brackets also. There is one more way to write multi-line statement in single line also, by using semicolon, but it is not recommended. You can put semicolon after any statement of Python, but it is highly not recommended. Generally you do not see this type of syntax. Python indentation. This is a very important topic. Most of the people find an error because of this. So please have a proper look in this part. So Python indentation is used to define a block of code. Generally in C, C++ or Java, to define a block of code we generally use the braces, but in Python there is no use of braces. So to define a block of code we use the indentation. So indentation is basically a 4 space character. The amount of indentation is up to you, but it is generally 4 space character. So everyone uses 4 white space character for indentation, or you can use tab also, but it is just up to you. You can change it, but important thing is that it must be consistent throughout that block. Suppose that if you are taking 5 white space character, so you have to take exactly 5 white space character for every statement inside that block. So let's have a look about the block of a code. So here the example is a for loop, so don't worry about the syntax of this for loop and if statement. So let's have an example of a block. So here I have written a for loop, so don't worry about the syntax of the for loop. So this for loop has basically 3 statement inside it. One is the print statement, another one is the if statement, and another one is the break statement, which is inside this if statement again. So there are 2 blocks of code. One is if, inside this if, and another one is inside this for loop. So in Python, to represent a block of code we use the indentation. So this 4 white space character is known as indentation. So you have to provide the proper indentation and uniform indentation to represent a block of code. So let's take another example. So can you guess whether this variable a is inside this if statement or not? So right, this statement is not the part of the if statement. So there is one block here, okay, and it has just one print statement. So it is very important to properly write or properly give the spaces in Python, otherwise it will provide you an error. So let's talk about the quotation in Python. In Python, The quotation is represented using single quote, double quote, or triple quote. And quotations are used to represent the Python string literals. Triple quotes are generally used to represent the multi-line strings or multi-line comments also. Single quote, if you want to write the sentence, you use double quote, and if you want to use the multi-line string, then you use triple quotes. Python comments. In Python, comments are used using hash symbol generally, and hash is used to single line comments. So in Python interpreter, if you write anything after the hash symbol, this will become an comment. So this line is an comment, and comments are ignored by the Python interpreter. This hash symbol is for the single line comment. So if you want to write multi-line comments, you have to write triple quote, and inside this triple quote you can write your lines. So important thing is that when this will work as a multi-line string and when this will work as a multi-line comment. So if you assign this multi-line string to some variable, this will become an string, and if you do not assign to it any variable, it will become a multi-line. Let's talk about doc string in Python. Doc string stands for the documentation string, and generally it is the first statement inside any user defined module, function, class, or method definition. So we write what does a function or module which is defined by user does inside this doc, so that a new user can check or know what does your function or class does without seeing the complete code of your module or function. So it helps other person in guessing what does a function exactly do. We use triple quotes to write doc string. Let's have an example of documentation string. Here I have written a function that name is test function, and this first statement inside this function is known as documentation string. Inside this function I have written a line function to the double value. That is the working of this function exactly. So it is up to you what you want to write here. You can write anything inside this triple quote, that is the documentation string. So if a new user comes and that person wants to know what does your function do, so that person will do what, it will write the function name and with dot double underscore doc double underscore. So that's how that person will get the documentation string. So you can check what does your function does exactly. Let's have a look at the keywords. Python 3.6 supports around 33 keywords. The keywords are reserved words, so you cannot use them as a variable name, and they have a special meaning, and this meaning can also not be changed. So it is not necessary that you remember all these keywords, but as soon as you write programs, you will face some of these keywords while writing programming. Let's have a look at the Python variables. So in Python, a variable is a name assigned to a object or value, you can say. Here I have written a variable a which has a value 50. So in Python, the interpreter first create an object 50, and then after this object is assigned a variable name a to it. That we do not need to declare a variable before using it, like other languages like C, C++, or Java. So Python is a dynamically typed language. The data type of a variable is decided at the runtime. We just simply assign a variable or variable a value, and this value will become the data type of that variable at runtime. That's why it is called dynamically typed language. In Python, if you want to know the address of a variable or object, you can use the function id. So here I have written two variables. The variables have the same value or same value. A has 10 value and B has another value 10. So in Python, interpreter does some optimization and it does not create separate memory for these two. It just creates the same value. It creates the one single object 10, and first this object is assigned a variable name A, and when we write this second line B assignment 10, then Python interpreter does not create another object. It just simply refer the old object with the another name B. So here A and B are referring to the same object. So if you want to check whether they are referring to the same object or not, you can use the id function that returns the integer identifier of an object. So if you write id of A, it will give you an integer number which is an integer identifier. And then if we write id of B, it will return you the same integer identifier. That's because both variable A and B are pointing to the same object. But if you update the value of A by 1, that is, so becomes 11. So in Python interpreter, it creates a new object 11 in memory, and this will point here, and this old A will be dereferenced. So if you type again id of A, you will get a new, or you can get a different identifier than old one. This optimization is only true for a very small range of values between 5 to -5 to 256. So if your value is beyond these numbers, so Python does not do the optimization. So if you assign the variable A some value like 400, and again take some another variable, suppose Z, and you assign the same value 400, Python creates two different objects. So for first line, it will create an object 400 in memory and it will refer by variable A, and similarly for the second statement, that is Z equals to 400, it assign, or it creates another object 400 in memory and it assigned that variable. So you can check it, the identifier of A and Z will be different, they are not equal. So you can cross check it in your interpreter. So that's all about the variable. Thank you and meet you in next class.